Udaipur. You think of the city of lakes, right? Shimmering water, these grand palaces, just, stunning beauty.
Absolutely gorgeous. A truly idyllic place.
But even somewhere like that, stories can take a darker twist. And there's this one tale from Udaipur about an old, now abandoned hotel that really does.
It's fascinating, isn't it? How a place's beauty can almost be amplified or maybe warped by these whispers of something unusual. Today, we're definitely digging into one of those whispers.
Yeah, exactly. So let's maybe step away from the picture-perfect views for a bit and imagine the inside of this silent hotel. It was apparently pretty popular back in the 80s.
Right, a busy spot.
But now, completely empty, and it's become the focus of some, pretty persistent local rumors. And the real heart of it all seems to be its elevator, which hasn't moved in years.
The elevator.
Ah.
So for this deep dive, our plan is really to explore the accounts we have, some documented, some more like local legends, all swirling around this specific elevator. What can we actually piece together?
Okay, let's jump in. There's a specific incident recorded from 1995. It involves a couple staying at the hotel.
Okay, 1995. What happened?
Well, late one night, maybe 1 a.m., the husband decides he needs some water, heads to the ground floor, gets in the elevator, presses the button for ground.
Standard enough so far.
Right. But then things start getting weird. Instead of going up to his floor from the ground floor after getting water, or maybe he was going down for the water initially. The point is, it started moving down when it shouldn't have. Or maybe it was the other way around. The account says he pressed ground and it went down instead of up, which is odd.
Hold on. If he was on an upper floor going to the ground floor, it should go down. Maybe the unsettling part was something else. Or perhaps the account itself is a bit muddled on the direction.
That's a good point. Let me recheck. Okay. The source says he was on an upper floor and needed water from the ground floor, so he pressed ground. The lift should have gone down. The unsettling part wasn't the direction, it was what happened next. My mistake there.
Okay. That makes more sense. So what did happen next?
It abruptly stopped between floors, and then bam, the lights just went out. Total darkness.
Oh, okay. That's immediately unnerving. Stuck and in the dark.
And worse. He described this really distinct, disturbing feeling, like someone was breathing really close, right by his neck, in the pitch black.
Wow. That sensation, the phantom breath. It's such a primal fear trigger, isn't it? That feeling of unseen presence, invasion of personal space. Very common in these kinds of stories.
Definitely creepy. So he's standing there in the dark, feeling this, and then just as suddenly the lights flicker back on.
Was anyone there?
He was completely alone, but... and this is the really strange detail, he looked in the elevator mirror and saw a shadow. A clear shadow.
A shadow. But he was alone.
Exactly, just the one shadow visible in the mirror, even though there was no one else and nothing else apparently to cast it.
A disembodied shadow that takes it beyond just a strange feeling. That's a visual anomaly that's hard to just brush off. Really adds a layer.
Okay, let's fast forward a bit. To 2003. This involves a hotel employee. His job included, shutting down and securing the elevator at night.
Right, someone familiar with the building's routines. What did he experience?
He started noticing something odd happening repeatedly. The elevator doors, they'd just open and close by themselves. Night after night. Nobody calling it. Nothing.
That's different from the first story. Less personal terror, more mechanical weirdness. But persistent. Did he try to figure it out?
He did. The obvious thing, right? He checked the security cameras, the CCTV footage to see what was going on.
Okay, surveillance footage. This could be interesting. What did it show? Proof of something.
Well, according to his account, the footage showed the elevator completely empty, repeatedly traveling to the 6th floor and stopping. The doors would open, pause, then close again, and it would descend.
The 6th floor. Was there anything special about the 6th floor?
Yes, and this is the kicker. The employee stated quite clearly that the 6th floor had been completely sealed off for years, physically inaccessible.
Sealed off. So literally no one could get on or off at that floor.
That's what he claimed. Which makes the elevator constantly stopping there. Well, inexplicable, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
If a floor is sealed, there's absolutely no logical reason for the elevator system to register calls from or to it. That detail is...
yeah, that's significant and kind of pushes it beyond simple malfunction.
Which brings us neatly to the local legend. The story that some of the older folks in Udaipur tell to try and explain all this elevator weirdness.
The folklore aspect. Often arises to make sense of things science or logic can't easily explain, especially when there are persistent anomalies like this.
Precisely. The story goes way back, even before the hotel was built.
Yeah.
Apparently, on that exact spot, there used to be a flat, an apartment building.
Okay, so a pre-existing structure.
And in that flat, well, the story is that a young woman committed suicide there, took her own life. Right, a tragic event connected to the location itself. That's a very common element in haunting narratives, isn't it? The idea that strong emotions, especially from trauma or tragedy, can somehow linger.
Exactly. And the legend connects her death directly to the elevator. The belief among some locals is that her spirit became trapped somehow within the elevator shaft or the car itself when the hotel was built over the site.
So the elevator isn't just malfunctioning, it's being influenced or even inhabited by this trapped spirit.
That's the story. That she's the one making the doors open and close, maybe causing the stops, the weird feelings, basically frightening people, especially at night.
The elevator then becomes this sort of contained space where the past tragedy keeps replaying, or at least making its presence felt. Very potent image.
And the story hasn't entirely faded, even though the hotel's been shut down for ages now. It's abandoned, right? But people who walk past it, especially late at night,
They still experience something.
some claim they can still hear it. Faintly, in the dead quiet, the sound of the elevator bell. Ding, like it's still operating or trying to.
Wow. Even with the building closed. That auditory echo keeps the legend alive, doesn't it? Makes the place feel perpetually active, even in its dereliction.
It really does. So you have this whole narrative arc, you know, the couple's terrifying experience, the shadow, the employee witnessing the inexplicable stops at a sealed floor.
All layered over this tragic local backstory of a suicide on that very ground. It paints a pretty chilling picture.
Yeah, it's a story that definitely sticks with you. It kind of makes you think twice about stepping into an old elevator, maybe.
So putting it all together, we've got these reported incidents, the shadow, the phantom stops, the weird feelings, and then this underlying local explanation, the spirit narrative tied to a past tragedy.
Right. And it does make you reflect, doesn't it? Thinking about you, listening right now.
Yeah.
Have you ever had one of those moments? Something you just couldn't explain? A flicker you saw, a noise you heard, that distinct feeling of not being alone.
These particular accounts, just for context, they seem to originate from some notes labeled podcast3.pdf. Just shows how these stories get passed around and documented.
It's really interesting how these tales grab hold of us. Why are we so drawn to them? Is it just curiosity about the unknown? Or maybe a way to process things like tragedy and loss?
It raises that question, what actually makes a place feel haunted? Is it just memory? The aware of past events? Or is it something else entirely? Something we don't understand yet?
Definitely food for thought. What lingers longer, the bricks and mortar or the stories they hold?